I think you are.
No.
How's it
Yes,
going, everyone?
get here every day, every time, Dakota. He's always asking if he can go first.
Such a smooth intro.
I know, wasn't it great? Let's just all start talking and yakking. Welcome, everyone, to the Aftercast, episode 23. I'm your host, Victory Saber 77. Today, we're going to be talking about San Diego Comic-Con, kind of what we talked about on the Cybercast and such, and we'll get into a whole bunch of other Transformer or whatever it takes us. So, if you guys want to introduce yourselves, we're going to start with the Golden Boy. I will not break the streak. So, Charles, tell us where they can find you and what your new Twitter account is.
I'm Charles. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Optimus4Prez, and Xbox Live is AutoCon365.
You're changing it to Golden Boy. Dakota, you're
I'm
up.
Dakota. You can find me on various social outlets at Primal Sabbath, and I do the topic show every other Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. This Tuesday we're focused on wreckers, so check out cybercastnetwork.com, click on my name, and get a little more brought up to speed than that.
Thought it was next week.
Yeah, I think it is next. 2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks. It's going to be on August 5th.
Okay, there we go. You're up, Dalton.
I'm Dalton. You can find me on YouTube at DaltonianSTF Reviews and Twitter, DaltonianSTF95, I think.
You
Either way.
think? Are you sure?
I didn't see it.
Hit him up there because he always checks it.
Jay, you're up.
All right, I'm Jay. You can find me at Nemesis Jazz 13.
And Josh.
What is that noise?
I don't know.
I think you, Jay, you sound like you're in a truck stop or something. Hang on.
And
No,
Jay.
it wasn't you.
Nope.
Yeah, I knew
Someone
it wasn't me because I hear it too.
All right. Well, whoever that is, then. Yeah, there it is. Cut it out. Anyways, you can find me G1Hextron on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook page is the G1Hextron.
And Kari.
All right. This is Kari from Karyudos Fansubs, so Karyuudo Fansubs. You can find us on Facebook, and you can also find us on our Blogspot page, Fansubs.blogspot.com.
Sweet. And I'm Victory Saber 77 again. If you don't know where you can find me, then I guess you're just out of luck. It's Twitter and YouTube. But don't forget to check out our community YouTube channel. Not really a lot going on as far as new things, but we do have some older videos, some good stuff like from Acon and stuff. So check that out. Subscribe there. Hit the Cybercast Network. Also check out our website, cybercastnetwork.com. Check out our Twitter, CybercastNet, and like our Facebook, Cybercast Network, where you can get a lot of the news, updates, everything that you want in Transformers, and then some firsthand. So, all right. We can start off, if you guys want, getting the rest of your guys' opinions on the San Diego Comic-Con stuff that was revealed in the Transformers world. You guys like it? I know you guys, some of you guys commented in the comments, but this is your time to voice your opinion live, on air, in front of a camera.
It's real.
Yeah. The Superion, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. The Minosaur, I don't care for the combine mode, but the separate robot modes, yeah, I did. I was definitely digging them. A lot of them, we're messing with other G1 counterparts. Yeah, those were like those two.
Cool.
My boy Charles. We're always on the same page.
You guys are haters, man. I mean, you don't like the combine mode. You don't like the combine mode. Third-party company comes out with something to add or modify or something like that, then I mean, you're probably more than likely going to be set. Like a lot of people I heard, they're like, I love everything but the head of Minosaur, so I'm not buying it. Someone's going to come out with a head. There's third-party companies
Someone just
coming
needs
out
to come
with
up with a new Minosaur.
heads for third-party products. So.
Or not a new
true,
Minosaur, a
right?
new Motor Master, excuse me. A new Motor Master. I mean,
I
I
think
don't
Motor Master looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah, same
Um,
here.
I have a quick question. I'm sorry to like kind of interrupt this, but what convention do you think has had the strongest Transformers reveal so far between BotCon and San Diego Comic Con?
Lock on.
Icon.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't alone there. Like this is literally the first time in quite a few years when that's been the case, where BotCon has had the superior reveals for the most part. So I don't know. I thought that was pretty neat.
Hmm.
All right, I'm sorry. I'll stop talking now.
As for me, with the combiners, I mean, I don't hate them, but they aren't the best thing I've seen. I mean, just robot modes, fine. Kind of confused why they went and changed around a couple of the characters' alt modes, like in the case of Slingshot changing them to Alpha Bravo and an Attack Chopper, or
Save
Yeah.
money,
Wild
so they
Rider
can reuse
to
them.
That's going to be the butt of all jokes, though, with the fact that, like, the aerial bots, 4 of them are planes, and then the last one's the helicopter, right?
Yeah.
So while 4 of the aerial bots are blasting, to go and get to the Decepticons, they're like, hey, where's number 5? We can't combine now. It's like, yeah, someone want to go give Buddy back there, who's the chopper boat, a lift, because because he just can't get here fast enough, right? We're going like Mach 3 here, and Buddy's back there, going a few hundred kilometers an hour. That's about it.
Yeah.
I'm curious though. Since we kind of brought that topic up, I mean, for me, the whole weird looking member is just for the repaint possibility for another Gestalt. Like it just with Hasbro's like track record, that's just what it's gonna be in my opinion. But a character like Alpha Bravo, do you think that's just gonna be the new character name for him, or do you think it's just gonna be a new character in general that gets added into the team? Because IDW is going to be a driving force behind the story for all these guys and why they can all combine. So
Yeah. Kind of sucks.
that to me is a really awesome idea. I'm sorry, James.
Oh no, it's kind of weird to have Slingshot. He was the most arrogant out of the whole aerial bot team, and he's the one that kind of gets dumbed down and kind of turned into a helicopter.
Karma.
And, all
But
that kind of stuff.
could it be because he gets killed off in the comics? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that
So
could be true.
that and again, the IDW force behind all this, I think that is awesome. I think that the theme is awesome because 2015's Combiners, 2016 could be Beast Wars, 2017 could be Japanese G1, 2018. There's so many possibilities. And I think that's neat. I'm just not feeling this year's theme.
Yeah. How about you, Jay? You like what you see?
Yes, I do like him. I love the head for Superion, the combined head. I like it a lot. And I am completely fine with Wild Rider being a truck. I actually like that more than him being the car. But I am kind of sad that it's not the helicopter's not named Slingshot. It's Alpha
Or
Bravo.
Harrier.
It's the only thing I don't really care for.
Yeah, that's the
I'm
main
fine
thing I
with
don't
him
like.
being a helicopter.
Okay.
And as far as him catching up with everyone, maybe he's like Airwolf.
Airwolf.
Yes, there we go. Airwolf.
Very good possibility.
That's what he's going to be to me. That's how he's going to keep up with everyone.
It's really able to come out with a sticker, Airwolf sticker for him.
Gosh. How about you, Kari? You like the
Yeah.
combiners?
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, like Hasbro's done, I think, a decent job overall with them. I mean, I don't really like the head sculpt for Menasor, but I mean, as has been pointed out before, like third parties can come up with an alternate head and hands and whatnot, right? To add on some extra parts and stuff like that to make it look a little bit better. But overall, it's nice to see them putting a lot of effort into those combiner models because like previously, like from the I think it was the Energon line, like you had the Superior Maximus and whatever. Yeah, I didn't like those very much, right? But whatever. It's I mean, it's a lot. I mean, you can see Hasbro cares, right? They're trying to do their best for the fans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, within that budget as well.
Yeah.
We even go back to look at the, I think James pointed this out on Cybercast, is the Energon Superion, and even that, Bruticus. Those things were hideous. hideous.
Yeah,
And
pretty
now
much.
you get the third-party add-on kit, and people are like, "That looks awesome. I want
Yeah,
that." You
yeah,
know, so
Yeah.
these combiners, they already look good. And
yeah.
the thing is, what I love is the individual figures themselves,
Hmm.
robot and alt mode, they're fantastic looking.
Yeah.
You know, and the only thing is people have a problem with is combiner. With the Energon Bruticus, that thing was crappy all over the place, all three
Yeah.
modes. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
and now people, you add on and switch a couple things out, and people love it and want to pay big money for it.
mhm.
Um, what do you think that they could do with something that already looks pretty good, or it
Yeah.
looks great in both
Mhm.
modes individually? Then in combined mode, it looks pretty good. It
Mhm.
could use some help, hands, proper feet, doing something, with the waist or whatever. I mean, we'll all figure that out whenever we get these, figures in our hands, and so do these third-party guys,
Mhm.
so they can know what needs to change, what can we mess with. Maybe this is waist or whatever can separate to extend that. Maybe we can fit in an ab section there to make them a little bit taller,
Mhm.
and the chest look a lot more to where it's not just like big chest and then on top of waist. They're going to figure that stuff out, so that's why I'm not worried.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
for sure.
what sucks for me though is like, man, whenever I was growing up and buying getting the toys, I grew up when combiners were at their absolute best. The Beast Wars combiners and the RID, Rail Racer.
Mhm.
Those things are, because in G1 it was all but just rectangles for the most part. You had your Predaking and your Devastator, and if you grew up in Japan, you had your Lio Kaiser and Raiden and stuff like that. But for the most part, G1 combiners weren't all too great.
They were the
But then,
best.
but then, in terms of just design and um, engineering, Beast Wars and Car Robots, Robots in Disguise came along and just hit the hammer. I mean, just nailed it, dude.
Brave.
And
Got it from Brave.
yeah,
Yeah.
Brave too.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure.
As far as Transformers go, though, those two series, their combiners were just awesome. And then going into Energon, it's like, what happened? The Rail Racer, Magnaboss, Tripredacus, those things were so great. But then you go into Energon, it's like, oh my god, thought these things were supposed to be. And even Omega Prime, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, just in general, and so going into Armada with Jetfire Optimus was like kind of rough too.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Like I guess that's why I have such high standards for these combiners, because the combiners I grew up with were nothing short of amazing.
See, and I
Yeah.
think the combiners I grew up with were a lot better than Beast Wars. So we're both biased there.
But I mean, I'm not saying it just because they're Beast Wars. I'm factoring in engineering and um, just the lot behind it. You know what I mean? And it's not just Beast Wars. Like I said, Rail Racer is probably the best combiner to date. That's official Hasbro.
Mhm.
It's very hard to argue behind that. Just how much
Official
went into
Hasbro.
that
Well,
toy.
no, they took that cues from Brave and stuff. I mean, that was first JRX from Car Robots. Wasn't
Mhm.
official Hasbro, was it?
Yeah, it's a Takara toy.
Well,
So
regardless, Hasbro Takara. Um, I don't know, dude. It's just hard to.
I know what you mean. I mean, they finally figured out, at least Takara figured out, that you can take a combiner team and you don't need 5 members. You don't need your typical torso, 2 arms, 2 legs to have a combiner team. You can make it out of 3 guys. You can make it out of 4. You can,
Mhm.
do all that type of stuff. And for me personally, I like these combiners. Now, if Takara was to come out with like their version, take maybe engineering, I don't know, maybe they had a handle in this, I don't know, but I think they could have done a little bit better job. But I mean, we're all biased. I mean, I was going to ask the question, what are you guys' favorite combiners? I mean, obviously, Dakota, you answered it with Beast Wars, which I agree with you. I like the Tripredicus mold, the Magnaboss, the Rail Racer's great.
If we were basing on just Hasbro Takara products, I'd probably go with Gold Goldran.
Yeah, he's a 3.
Yeah. Still just, I mean, fantastic, though.
True. I don't know if I really classify him, which, I mean, I don't know, I'll probably get flack for, but as a combiner team, because they're actually main characters. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like Prime, Jetfire, and Overload as a team. But
Yeah.
they combine into, a massive figure from Armada or something. So I don't know, but I get what you're saying, and yeah, it's an impressive, very well done figure. But is this? Can we all agree they're going in the right step though? Hasbro?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Without a
Yeah,
doubt.
definitely.
All right.
No, another thing I forgot to mention is I do like the inclusion of the 6th figure with Minosaur.
Yeah.
Blackjack becoming the chest piece.
Should be interesting
And then-
to see what they do with him.
Power Glide becomes a weapon, I think, for Superion.
Yes, he does.
Got a little peg that folds out. I guess.
And that's pretty neat. But I don't know how many waves normally come out in a year? Isn't it like 3 or 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So realistically, for 2015, assuming it's just going to be 2015's theme, we're looking at 4 combiners. We've already seen 2. So, yeah, Bruticus to me seems like an obvious choice. I don't think Hasbro isn't gonna not do a Bruticus. And then I think the Protectobots would be that obvious 4th.
There's first aid. They already got the mold done. For Superior.
To secure all 4, all 4 waves. I think that'd be the direction that they go in. But I'm curious. I'm curious to see. I think they're going in the right direction for finally creating a theme behind Classics and Generation, because that's something that the Classics line has never had. It's never had a theme to go off of. It's never had fiction to draw from, and now they have theme and fiction with IDW.
Yeah.
So that to me is why they're definitely going in the right direction.
Well, the combiner whole theme will be I guess, a make it or break it, whether or not Hasbro will continue doing a themed if it sells really well.
Yeah.
I mean, to do only Beast Wars like you mentioned, Dakota, for the next year or something like that. Whether or not they want to do that, or mix it up like they've always done. You get this, and then you get that, you get a little bit of this, all that type of stuff. Which I kind of prefer that way a little bit more, just so you have some variety.
Yeah, because if it's just a year of Beast Wars, then I'm not buying anything. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, like this year, I'm not buying anything. It's a year of combiners, unless or next year, yeah. Because you're gonna have people who will and who won't. That's all there is to it. Just because it's combiners doesn't necessarily mean. I mean, if Hasbro or the club put out a Nexus Maximus, Nexus Prime, like I've said, okay, then you've got a purchase out of me. But the realism of that ever happening is super slim to super none.
You got the animated line.
This
That'll
is
parallel it.
Yeah, this is a for me, or for next year for me will be, a year that I go without official product.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. As you
Me
said,
too. I can finally catch up.
You're going to be done with Beast Wars pretty much this year, so it's going to be the year of BotCon again.
Oh yeah.
15. Such.
It's gonna be a rough year.
Right on.
Jim and I are going to San Diego Comic-Con next year.
Have fun.
Yeah, we're going to try.
I would love to go to Comic-Con, but I would not want to deal with the crowd.
Yeah, it's
Excuse me.
it's elbow to ear to elbow to waist to elbow to ear.
It would be a nightmare.
I don't care. Just because, fans of more than just Transformers, I mean, it's not even my favorite cartoon series of all time.
Why don't y'all go to both?
So,
I'm going to TFCon or TFCon Chicago. I went to BotCon this year. Went to ACon. I hit 2 conventions a year.
You're just part of the elite group, though, Dakota. Come on. We're not rolling in that cash like you are. Can't
Man,
can't
yeah,
get on this.
believe it or not, there's not much rolling around to do.
So, I mean, it would depend where BotCon is. If BotCon was in California again, possibly. But, if it's on the East Coast, yeah, I'm going to have to choose one or the other. Because I can't go to, like, BotCon and not spend anything, or go to San Diego Comic-Con and not spend anything. I mean, are you spending quite a bit of money or equal amount as you did at BotCon at TFCon?
That really depends. I was looking at the packages because I still haven't registered yet, and it's like I may want to pick up Axis, but I know for sure I don't want Chapter, and it's awesome because they let you choose sort of what you want. So, as far as convention exclusives, no, but I won't know for sure until I get there what I'll be dropping. You know what I mean?
But would you take the same amount? Will you have the same amount of money,
Not the same
disposable
amount of paper
income?
money. I'll have the same amount in credit money, but not in paper money.
Okay, it's gonna catch up to you, man.
If it was in Texas, then I could go. I could attend both, because me and Jim were kind of similar. I was a little bit more less there, as far as went to BotCon. I didn't buy any exclusives. James did, but as far as the figures, they're were there for sale. I can buy all these things for it's the same price they're going for on eBay or at online retailers. I just went to hang out with you guys.
You guys never haggled either.
And I had fun.
I mean, seriously, it's like someone told you guys a price and you were like, okay, I'll do that. Someone told me a price, especially in parts parties. I was like, hey man, why don't we work that down a little bit? And they worked with me.
I got Jetfire down. One Jetfire was already priced really good, and I would have paid what they were asking because it was in better condition than the best looking one on eBay, and it was priced $50 cheaper than that. And I still, I saved about $20 as well, haggled a little bit. So, and I also did with the Masterpiece Rodimus. So I don't know where you're getting that. Maybe you weren't attached to my hip, like.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Josh. I mean, I walked into that dealer room, and I will be honest with you, I wasn't like just dropped to the floor going, "Oh my goodness, I've reached heaven as far as a Transformers fan is concerned." Maybe it's because I have some of the stuff, that's rare, whatnot, but I didn't see a lot of it that really just wowed me, and a lot of the pricing. Yes, some sellers you could haggle with, but other sellers were not willing to do any of that. They were just there to buy this and that, and I'm like, okay, well, dude, I can get this on eBay, and I don't really care. I can stop wasting your time, you can stop wasting my time, and I'll just move on. But I did more, like I told Josh, I did more shopping before BotCon and after BotCon, because I didn't find anything that I was really, really looking for at BotCon. And unless they sold out to all the golden ticket members that got in there before me into the dealer room.
Don't hate.
I don't know. But it's not like it was a bad experience. I do recommend going to BotCon. It's a fun convention. The dealer room is nice, but as far as what I want, it didn't have a lot of that stuff.
You want to go with people, and you want to go as a golden ticket. I'm telling you.
Well, okay. Besides the golden ticket thing, but you want to go with people and friends, whether you meet them on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or whatever. People that have the same interests. There's several. I'm not part of any. Someone invited me to join some type of Transformer group on Facebook, but I just hated every time someone commented or something. I kept on getting these notifications, and I couldn't figure out how to turn it off. So I was just like, well, dropping out of that. But you can join things like that, and you can be active, and then when it comes around, maybe 6 months prior, to it going live or happening. Hey, anyone going to BotCon? I'm looking for roommates, and you'll probably develop relationships, with some of these people online and become friends with them, and just do a hangout, talk with them. I mean, like everyone in here, we didn't know each other personally.
Mhm.
Heck, me and Dakota even met each other, and we're talking to each other, and it wasn't until like 6 months, almost a year later, that
Now
we
we're
were like,
engaged.
hey, you're that guy,
Yeah.
that I talked to at that one thing, So, definitely go with friends because, like, if Dakota Jam, I've known them, for a while, doing this. That if they weren't going, then I'm not going. Like if it was just Dakota going, I probably wouldn't have went either, because like I see Dakota, every so often. I had just got through seeing him 2 weeks prior, and we don't live, terribly far from each other. It's where if we wanted to make a little bit of a trip. uh,
Oh,
But,
anyone who isn't in the hangout, like they're just not gonna know.
Oh man.
he's basically saying, "Well, screw you too, then." But we're gonna say that word. But anyway, I can see Dakota whatever, and I never met James in real life, so that was one of the things that I wanted to do. But if it wasn't going, then I wasn't gonna go. Because I was pretty dead set in my ways that I'm not going. They kept on trying to tuck in, and that's something that I would suggest. That's the only way you're gonna make it really fun. Even if you do all the exclusives and stuff like that, if you're all by yourself, then it's not. Going to eat as a group, doing all the stuff is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yep, it was. I mean, I couldn't have seen doing it by myself just because it would. One, you could get done with the whole con in like a day and a half if you wanted to. You could do all of it and you could be done and be gone. I mean, you wouldn't have those, going to Universal Studios alone, it'd be kind of weird and such. But yeah, I definitely go with a bunch of buddies, friends, and stuff. I mean,
And
the nice thing about it is the Transformers fandom is really cool. There are some haters out there that I don't understand why they got to be that way.
Mhm.
But majority of everyone is really cool, approachable. Hanging out at the side of where the entrance is to the convention center. Just a bunch of Bacon Transformer fans. And you just shoot in the breeze. It's really cool, and no one's like gun shy or like
nobody meets a stranger essentially.
Yeah.
And that's what's awesome. I mean, even if you did go by yourself, you could literally find a group to hook up with, and then I kept bumping and bouncing in between like every about 2 or 3 different groups just because like I ran into people I never I didn't know. Just started hanging out and talking with them, and I was like, all right, man, well I'll catch you on the next go around. And I just bing, bing, bing. That's why I was always so worn out. But it was cool, man. Get to meet new people that you probably only see once a year, maybe even only talk to once a year. But I don't know. That to me, it's being able to meet new people. It's another just big part of that.
Yeah. Definitely.
Well, now this, kind of going into San Diego Comic-Con, that would be something that I would go to by myself. Even if no one else was going with me, I would have a blast there. Just because, with the BotCon, like I said, I would have to be around friends because that was the main reason going. Everything that I was gonna buy, I can get on eBay. I can get that from, my office here on the computer for the exact same price or close to it. But San Diego Comic-Con is something that I've never experienced before and that I want to go to just because when I go in there, you see how large it is. Oh, okay. Man, why do you guys just...
You're just setting yourself up.
Jim, I want you to go, but like I said, I would still have fun by myself, but I would have more fun if you went as well.
All right.
Or Dakota or anyone else. But to go in there, I'm not just a Transformer fan. I'm a fan of Batman. I'm a fan of Ninja Turtle. I like some of the NECA stuff, and there's some figure art stuff, and just all this different stuff out there that I know that I'd be excited for. there's a lot more panels that I would attend as well. Because I freaked out more on the Ninja Turtle panel than I did the Transformer panel.
Yeah. I mean, the nice thing is, well, here's the thing with like Transformers, we kind of know or we expect that we're going to be getting certain products and it's going to be a good thing, but like when you see like the Turtles classics, like we're getting certain figures, you know, and you're like, you see that for the first time, you're like, oh my god, you know, because it's been so long, we've been waiting, you know, it's like, I guess for me for Transformers, if all of a sudden I'm sitting there in the Hasbro, you know, panel, and all of a sudden they drop on us, hey, and by the way, guys, we're getting a Lau Kaiser. Yeah, I would be, you know,
Yeah.
I would drop and be like, oh my god, yes, this is awesome. But you know, saying the same thing, hey, look, we're getting another Voyager Optimus Prime, and oh, we're getting these other cool characters. Oh, that's cool, but like, you know, we've been wanting like a Shredder, you know, or we've been wanting certain characters in other brands, and then to finally see that and finally have it happen is like more of a jaw dropper than the kind of stuff that was revealed for Transformers in a way.
And that Krang, oh god, man! Because even the vintage one, like a lot of people don't have it because it's expensive. That too, in classics. Even their old duck stuff and Ice Cream Kitty, we're getting it.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. It made me extremely excited. And I think it maybe have something to do, you know, like what you were saying, because it's like, oh, new Optimus Prime. was like, you know, wave a little flag, yay. But I mean, it doesn't help either that we talk about these Transformer things like every freaking week.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, maybe like be reversed. If I talked about Ninja Turtles every single week for, you know, almost a year and a half for whatever, like 3 hours, you know, with Cybercast and Aftercast, then maybe I'd be more excited about the Transformer stuff. And it's not to say that I'm not, but you know, I like so much different stuff. Even the Star Wars Blackline series, you know, with all their cool stuff coming out, and they're, you know, doing you know, these kind of like 2-packs where you're gonna get the little snow monster and all this other stuff. And I was just, yes, I was really excited for, because it's something I know the characters, but it's new. It's something that I don't know that we're getting, and it's something I can get excited for. To where, I don't know, just Transformers. I mean, it's a combination of things. I get excited, but not as excited. And also, I'm a fan of more than just Transformers. There's a lot of toy lines that I like and I collect that people don't even know even exist. You get asked all the time whenever I look at something. They're like, what is that? You know, so.
So we're gonna do Turtle Cast on Friday. Sunday could be the Star Cast or Star Wars Cast, and we can do on Monday like Master of the Universe Cast. We could fill up the whole week on just talking about every single toy line.
What do you mean we? I'm in it for the Saturday show.
Well, you're in it for at least 3 out of the 7 days. So
we have the contract. You signed it.
Yeah, go talk to HR if you don't like.
Okay. 3 out of 7 shows. I am HR, and I would be like the best human resources person for bros. You know what I mean?
Gosh. But yeah, I totally agree. I mean, we talk about Transformers every week, and we always talk about upcoming stuff too. So we're always in the loop. So a lot of things don't really kind of surprise us as much as it does with, you know, other stuff.
And sometimes we get like inside information. We know that stuff, and like we share it with each other. We know that stuff. Also, these third-party things. They always do like the silhouette. You can usually guess what it is. You know, a month later they come out with, you know, who it is. And it's an 9 month process before it comes out. And after talking about it with all the updates, like 3, 4, 5 times, you know, in the cycle of its development, it's just kind of like, all right. Yeah. Even though at first we were like, yes, that's awesome. Finally get it. All right. Yeah, it's the same thing. Like, I like Fans Toys Scoria. I do like the figure, and it's a third party that I plan on keeping. But when I got it in my hand, I was just, all right, to where at the very beginning I was excited and ecstatic about it. But I've talked the thing to death so much, even before I even did my review on it,
Yeah.
that I was just like, how do I maintain and show people how much I really do like this figure when I'm just like, I had the thing for like 2 weeks before, I reviewed it, just because I wanted to make sure that I got everything down correctly and all the little, testing the joints and stuff. But I had to like have it and leave it alone for like 2 weeks as well, and just mess with it every so often, just so I could be like, you know what, I really want to mess with that figure again and build that excitement up. Just because we talked about that thing like almost every week. We probably brought it up on at least 10 Cybercast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's a question, real quick. Then we can get into another topic. Do you think we overhyped Scoria? Do you think it's like last year? A lot of people said Warden was probably the best third party. The year before that was probably Quakewave. This year, did we overhype Scoria, or do you think Scoria right now is probably the best third party to come and pick up this year, or might we get beat out maybe by Utopia? I don't know. What do you guys think? Or you have it, Josh, so probably know a little bit more. But
Am I the only one that has it?
I think Utopia is going to get overhyped, and I don't think Utopia would be as big of a hit as say Scoria was, in my opinion. Because even though we've talked Scoria to death, I know we're going to talk Utopia to death, and it's going to be kind of the same song and dance. But I still think Scoria would in turn just be the bigger thing. Now the Scorponok, on the other hand, that, in my opinion, would be another story.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like we
What's
got
currently out?
Quakewave and we loved Quakewave and the quality of Quakewave was great. So we kind of tacked that on to Scoria, being like, this is going to be an awesome product because Fans Toys knows what they're doing, and they do.
Quakewave is better.
But is Scoria that like up there? Like, did it deserve the hype? And do you think it's the best so far released this year as the best third party? Do you think whatnot to that nature?
I guess since I have it, I think it's exactly what you expected. All the beautiful gold, the chrome, die-cast wall. When I was testing out the joints, and you kind of saw on camera as well, it might have a bit too much die-cast. I don't know if that's a sin to say, but maybe a little bit too much because it makes it extremely heavy. But it's a really solid figure. And like I said, it's one of those ones that it's gonna stay with me as a third-party figure, even if they do come out with the Takara version, slag, just because I know for the price that that's gonna go for is the same what I paid for Scoria. I'll probably still pick it up, but the amount of die cast and detail that went into this figure will blow probably any Takara one out of the water that they came out with. So I think it's really good for the money, because it's that $200 price point, and that's exactly what these much larger Takara masterpiece figures they cost. So it's very rare that you see something that Takara would release, and then you get the third party, and they're like the same price. So I think you got what you paid for. I still think Quakewave is the best to date third-party figure released.
Yeah. Any of you other guys gonna? Well, sorry, keep going.
I'm done.
Well, I just want to know if anyone else is gonna pick up Scoria. Have planned
Nope.
to pick him up this
Nope.
right thing. Well, thanks, Jay. Well, it's been fun having you.
I mean,
I know it was fun. Yeah, I'm gonna plan next for my donor box.
Yes, we know.
That's right.
I do like Scoria, but it's not on my priority list. But it would be a nice one to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks nice, but nah.
All right.
I'd probably if they came out with some kind of like masterpiece like Star Convoy, I'd go all crazy over that.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Punk Wally, why aren't you in here?
See you
Sounds
commenting?
Yeah, just pulled it up. He come in.
Yeah.
What up, fart knockers?
All right, cool.
I guess he was talking to Dakota.
Jeez. How nice.
I'll definitely be picking up that Scoria, but it won't be till early next year.
Cool.
Yeah, my definite pickup for third party this year would be Quantron. That thing's been overhyped for. When did they first announce it? Early last year,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they're just now getting to it at the end of this year, last step of this year.
Actually, we've known about it for quite a while longer than that. It's just they haven't.
We finally saw
It.
hard prototype, or,
Yeah.
hard copies at TFCon last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, something like that. But we just had like a black colored out image forever.
Or that CG render that you've got on your profile picture.
I hope
Yep.
that's I hope we're now finally reaching the end of those days for third parties with the whole blurred out or blacked out image. Like,
Oh, yeah, like the silhouette and all that kind of
yeah,
crap.
that's such
Yeah.
a terrible way to
Yeah.
tease something.
Yeah, it's to create hype though, right? I mean,
True.
they're trying to do the same thing as like Hasbro or Takara would do, right? To say, "Ooh, what's this?" And I mean, most fans can figure it out, but like, they're still gonna do it anyway, right? Because it gets people talking. So
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of like what Make Toys did. Well, what Make Toys did with their Diatlas. Like there was no silhouette of that. It just, hey, look at this Diatlas.
Yeah.
I need it. I want it.
It is the exact same thing that Hasbro does. So I mean, if you look at BotCon,
Yep.
we had to like beg and plead and with our execs and find try to get guys the silhouette to show you what's coming in 2015, and then here you have Comic Con, whatever, a month later, and you got prototypes out.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that you couldn't show us was it really that? I thought they were like really far behind, that we only got a black silhouette and couldn't even say that it was the year of combiners. That it's the year of, and then show it to us, and we had to like fill in the blank there. And then because he didn't say that it was because we're only allowed to review this at San Diego. No,
Well,
it was
that's
just
the
like
exact reason. It's because they were only allowed to reveal those at San Diego.
no,
I mean,
no,
yeah,
no. What
I remember
what
the
I
guy
said is
stated
that
he
he
couldn't
didn't say
reveal.
that.
What
He didn't
was
say
funny,
that was a San Diego exclusive reveal.
Yeah.
Well,
They
I'll
never
put it to you
said
this
that.
way: if my boss says, "Hey, look, you're dealing with a bunch of crazy hardcore fans, so don't let them know what the real deal is. Just let them know, I want this saved for San Diego Comic Con when we'll have the bigger audience. But you tell them that it just wasn't ready. I'm gonna do what my boss is paying me, 6 figures a year to do, and say, hey guys, look, we really had to beg and plead, but we can kind of show you this right now because it's not quite ready. And then I'll go to San Diego and have no remorse about
Well, I mean
making it again.
that's an assumption. I'm going off of what was actually said or not said.
I just
mean,
think that if it's BotCon is for Transformer fans and you want us to keep coming back, I think it's owed to the fans that you give them as much as you possibly can. And San Diego Comic Con is San Diego Comic Con. That's why you have the exclusives there. You have all this other type of stuff. I think they could have showed one of the combiners. They could have showed us the aerial bots, the one that they silhouetted, and just showed us a color version of it, and then just be done with it. And then they could have showed more at maybe San Diego Comic Con or something, and showed us like, oh my goodness, there's Menasor.
Yeah, that's what I never understood. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I think it's lame that they're doing that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, just back on to what Hasbro tells us at BotCon, I can tell you guys I have 3 sealed G2 Minosaurs. I told you I had them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
Come to your house, man.
I got your
Plane
address.
ticket's gonna be a lot cheaper than even a stint in jail. It's gonna be a lot cheaper in some ways. Get me out
Well,
on bail.
I mean, it's all marketing in the end, right? And God knows, like, how much, San Diego Comic Con is even possibly paying, Hasbro just to keep the lid on things, just to,
Yeah.
do reveals there as well, right? I mean, there's a lot of money behind it, right? Especially these conventions.
Yeah.
So, but I agree with you guys. I mean, Hasbro really could have at least shown, like, one of the combiners at BotCon, and I mean, yeah, they do kind of owe it to the fans. Like, if you're going to ask fans to spend, like, X number of dollars to come to their official quote unquote convention, at least give them some meat, right?
Yeah. I totally agree
Fight
with
for
that.
your life.
We
I'm
did
sorry.
get RC.
Fight for your life. Andrew says he's buying all the third party. I am a completist. Dude, your wallet is deep.
Yeah.
There's a
That is
ton
one
of third parties
dedicated
out there.
third-party fan.
Huh?
That is one dedicated third-party fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, if you mean like there's third party Dinobots and I'm selecting one that I'm buying them all, or if you're just buying them all because, like we said on the Cybercast, there now Toy World is getting into the Dinobots as well. So I
Yeah.
mean, you're talking about thousands of dollars. I mean, that's God.
You're talking QC issues too that you're gonna have the headache of dealing with.
Yeah.
All that. But going back to third parties with the silhouette, yeah, it's an advertising ploy. I get that, but if you want the consumer because you have a select target that you have because you have an expensive product, you're not going for the kids. I don't know of any child out there that has like a $200, $300, $400 allowance that they're like, oh, mommy, the new third party came out. Can I get on eBay and or on Big Bad Toy Store and pick it up? Sure, honey, go ahead. There you go. They're not. I don't see anyone doing that for an 8-year-old or a 10-year-old. But you just give us what it looks like. Just hey, here it is. I mean, everyone else in the third party, they've already showed it that they're going to copy you. Okay, it's like, oh, you're doing Dinobots? Well, we're going to do Dinobots. Well, no, you can't be the only ones. We're going to do Dinobots. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do this. And, it's the nature of the game. I think if you really want fans to gravitate towards your product, give us some actual photos. Let us be the judge of it, and put up the pre-orders and see what happens. The pre-orders are going to what dictates whether or not that goes into production anyways. If you don't get them, you're not going to do it. So just show us it.
I mean, look at Warbitron. They announced with Silhouette their next figure is Minosaur after Bruticus. Make Toys says we're doing Computron. Warbitron said, we're doing Computron next.
Yeah, they shouldn't copy off of each
Minosaur will be
other.
after.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. Like, these guys gotta stop copying off each other. Release something unique, right? Like that people will say, hey, these are the only guys with this particular third-party figure, right?
Yeah.
You start making like multiple copies of like Bruticus or Manosaur. It's like it's okay. It's nice to see like what everyone can kind of do, but at the same time, it's like, guys, be unique. I mean, now I kind of feel like you can't really say that Hasbro's copying off of the third parties because technically it's their product to begin with, right? But yeah,
I'm sure there's a fan out there going, look at Hasbro. They're copying TFC's Uranos, man. What the hell? They're coming out with a
it's their product. It's their product.
Well, here's the thing: is like Hasbro starts about 2.5 years. Their design process starts about 2.5 years before we get it, and then these third-party companies use a lot of them use the same fact that Hasbro uses.
Mm-hmm.
So they see what starts to come down Hasbro's assembly line, and about however long, about 9 months in, they're like, hey, we like that. We like what they're doing. So they cut, or they see from the very beginning, and they come out with it. And it only takes them anywhere from 6 months to 9 months for a third-party product to come out. So while the third party gets released first, and then here comes Hasbro, you look at Fans Project, Revolver, which is basically Roadbuster, and be like, well, they came out with theirs, and this was Hasbro's response. No, Hasbro was in the works with theirs long before Fans Project came out with theirs. But they saw it, and they're like, we got to get ours out there. And they're more they're Johnny first. We got to get there first, get people to buy ours, because once that Hasbro one comes out, then the chances of us selling a lot goes down to a few, and it's only going to go out to the hardcore third-party collectors.
I'm curious, though, why does it take the guy that's working out of his garage a lot less time to pump something out than it does, the team of guys working in, a freaking full service center? You know what I mean?
You have a Fortune
I've got two
brand.
answers for you, even though there's more reasons. One, they have to deal with all these different types of safety standards.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not only got to pass over here to Takara, it's got to pass over there, and then if the U.S. wants to bring it over, or Europe or whatever, then it's got to meet the safety standards. Hasbro, they got to kind of meet the safety standards to where all they supply. The other thing is, whenever you see the packaging, and it says this is for ages 4 and up, or it's ages 6 and up, or whatever, 12 and up. That's not that they're saying that, if this is ages 6 and up and you're a 5-year-old, then you shouldn't buy it for the 5-year-old, because it's too complicated, or they're not allowed to buy it. It's not like it's, they're trying to buy beer or anything like that. It's not illegal. But what they're saying with those ages whatever and up, that's what they tested it for. That, if they say that, here we have, people that are 6 years old and, whatever, 7, I want you to play with these, and they go through a lot of testing. That also takes time. For the third parties, they're like, these are for adults because 6-year-olds can't afford this crap. So, they do all their testing, they see what they like, they get opinions and stuff like that from 6-year-olds, and then they can say that this is for ages 6 and up, which basically means that's what they tested it with.
So now I got to beat
that's
up
what that.
kids. No, I'm just playing.
No, but
That's where that goes into.
Plans though too. I mean, Hasbro already has their plan of what's going to be released, what's not going to be released, and it never falls in line with what the fans want. I mean, we want everything, we want it now, but Hasbro will tell you, like any other company, toy company will tell you. One, they can't tell you because they can't bring out that information for whatever reasons usually, but they have this whole game plan as far as, and then they have to get all the materials, all this kind of stuff. A third-party guy doesn't have the amount of materials, doesn't have to answer to anybody and just, hey, is this going to sell? Yeah, well, let's pump it out there and get it out there and see what happens.
Exactly.
And such. And the thing that I don't like is third parties used to be really great. You had Fans Project, you had TFC Toys, you have Make Toys, you have Mastermind Creations, you have all these different third parties. But now it's turned into their little battle between each other instead of like, well, we're going to do this, you're going to do that, we're going to do this, and then, we have variety of other stuff. But now it's turned into, we're in competition with you guys, and we're going to try and take you out of business. It seems like
yeah, they're trying to outdo each other,
and it just seems like that to me is kind of, I don't know, stupid at times. I mean, Fans Project is always going to win. Mastermind Creations is always going to win. They're always going to, if they wanted to put out the Dinobots, they would sink these other companies. Maybe not Fans Toys, but anyone else that's doing this, I'm sure they would. If they did a masterpiece and all that. It's just, come up with your own damn ideas like you used to. Do it for the fans because you guys were fans or are fans. Stop competing with each other and stop trying to we're going to run you into the ground. It's our market. We're going to take over. I don't know, but it's like the war between Hasbro and Matty or Mattel.
That's why I think Make Toys is winning at all times. They're not really, for the most part, not really getting into this whole third-party war. And the stuff that they're coming out with is really quality stuff. You know.
TFC Toys is the same way. They're not
Yeah.
really good either.
Well, until they, who were they? They were the third ones to announce the Predikings, right?
I
But
think so. Yeah, we all thought they did the little silhouette again.
yeah.
Ares
Well,
coming in.
they were actually the fourth, but the third never went
Yeah.
through.
But they don't adhere to anyone else. They just keep doing what they're doing. They're doing the protective bots, not because someone else is doing it or whatever. They're doing it. Aerial bots, they did. Hercules, they did. I don't think they could care less, but everyone else seems to care what they're doing or something.
Yeah.
So,
It's what it reminds me of. Whenever you have the two gas stations on opposite ends of each other, one goes out there and they're like, we're gonna take the price down to gas 5 cents. But 5 minutes later, the gas station across you to put it down 5 cents. It's the same thing. McDonald's says, "Hey, dollar menu." Burger King, "Hey, we've got a dollar menu too now." So I mean,
But then Taco
everybody's
Bell
dollar
comes
menu.
along,
and now they're
they're
not even dollar
pay
menu. They're
$1.50.
like $1.50. Yeah, and they still want a dollar menu.
it's all about
That's false
competition. It's
advertising.
all about that. So, to each its own, but it just seems at times for us fans we get kind of screwed because now we have to wait for the year of the Dinobot to get over with, just so we can get some new products. Like we are already, thinking with Hasbro, oh great, we have a movie, so we're going to get inundated with movie toys. Third party, oh great, Dinobots, we're going to get inundated now with Dinobots. And now we shouldn't have to have that mindset. Like next year, what is it going to be? Before that it was Predaking. Next year, God, I'm not even looking forward to next year, even though I don't really buy third party, but I'm not really looking forward to like, oh great, what are we going to get? Like someone else is going to do a Metroplex, or is it going to be Scorponok? I mean, the year of the Scorpion. I mean, what the hell? It's odd.
You're gonna get future RC and Elita 1 action figures.
There you go. It's going to be the year of Wheelie. Everyone's going to be doing Wheelie. So then we can eliminate all the crappy third-party companies right off the bat. That's how we're going to end the herd. Make some Wheelie.
And just so people didn't think I was commenting on it. We are getting future or future, or however you say it, RC and Wheelie, like little posable action figures. So that just popped up. So like again, people are like, hey, Hasbro's coming out with this stuff. Yeah, we need to come out with theirs. Mastermind Creation. Everybody jump on the thing. So
yeah. Kind of switching topics real quick. Going back to what we talked about on Cybercast, the whole prioritizing your collecting habits. I just wanted to ask your guys' thoughts. I know Josh and I collect a multitude of stuff, and I'm sure you guys do too. But you guys ever? For me, when I buy something, I tend to not appreciate it as much. You guys, when you buy something, like take the time to appreciate it, or kind of like what I do. I get this, and I'm going to the next thing. Like I got Triple Dacus, I went to Diver, Blentrons. I'm going, kind of like.
You're not doing it right. You have to play with them all at the same time.
But, are you that type of kind of collector in a way where you're just like, okay, I got this, it's off, it's like another check mark on the list, and, I appreciate that I got it, but you don't take the time to really let it sink in because you're on to the next thing, and then you're on to the next thing after that. You guys collect or know what I'm talking about, or do you guys, like, when you get something, you're like, okay, this is awesome, I'm going to take the time to enjoy it, then move on to something else?
For me,
afraid so. That is me.
For me, it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
Because, with the chug line, I've got a lot of catching up to do. So, it's another check mark. Plus, I actually take time to appreciate the actual figure because now, after all this time, I finally have it.
I'm the exact same way.
Cool.
I still play with my my second Ape Link that I bought at PodCon, the 2014. Like I don't know, like dude, I find something out of a haul, and I just like do not put it down. Between that and Drift, the Age of Extinction Drift, and the Beast Wars Neo Killer Punch, like, which I honestly like, I'm getting to where like I just can't put any of those Beast Wars down. Like, it's just fiddling with them so much. Like I said, you got to play with them all at once. Um, I don't know, man. I'm not hard to go from there.
That's how I've been with Sky Shadow here. I mean, still cannot put the figure down. I just love it.
Sky Shadow. Oh, Columbine's real name, Black Shadow. Columbine's real name.
Dude,
That's
it
what
just
you're talking about, right?
it just got hectic. Yeah, the Generations Black Shadow.
Yeah, Black Shadow.
Like, it just got a little hostile in here, and I really don't know how to feel. So
I don't even appreciate my figures when I get them, just because there's always like so many things like coming in. The only time that because I don't play with them, I basically when I get them out of box, I just set them on the shelf, or I just keep them in the box and set them on the floor. And when I get around to doing the review, I'll mess with it, and that's when I mess with my figure. I'll do that, and then it goes on the shelf, and I don't touch them.
Until it comes to other people's figures, like at BotCon.
Yeah.
What?
yeah, then you want to play with everyone else's stuff.
Dakota,
Well,
move off the bed. I'm
Dakota,
taking a picture.
transform this one. Dude, you gotta move off your bed. I'm trying to get the white light here.
Can't you just sleep on the floor for a little bit? Yeah, that was great.
Well, I just started getting into Instagram like a month and a half ago, and I'm having fun, doing photos with that and doing like little funny scenes and writing funny captions. So I do enjoy that. It's making me start to grab figures off.
You remind me of a
mess
lonely
with
cat
it.
lady sometimes, though.
What do you mean?
That does fit him, actually.
I'm just saying, creepy cat lady. That's all.
With his baby Transformer pictures.
How about for you, Jay and Charles? What do you guys do? Put them on the shelf, transform them several times, or what?
Whenever I get a haul in, it's whatever figure I enjoy the most. I just don't sit it down till I get tired of it.
They all become bathtub toys.
Exactly.
Right on.
Except I'm a big boy, I take showers, so they're shower toys.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let mine sink in for a while and try to say, what the next one is going to be to surpass that. And sometimes, whatever my next purchase usually doesn't surpass it because I'm still dealing with the fact that I finally got Sideswipe and Predaking. And it just varies.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of, I guess, like Josh too. I'll get something in and I place it on the shelf. But ironically, at times I will get like, I don't know, not giddy, but like happy that I'll pick up a Turtles figure at like Walmart, and then instead of getting like some type of G1 Transformer in the mail, I'll be like, dude, look at this like turtle figure. It's like I remember this from my childhood or this or that. I'm like, oh my god, look at all this articulation. Because at times I'm scared to mess with a G1 figure because you pay quite a bit of money for them, and I don't want to sit there transforming them and doing what I used to do. As a kid, wanting to do this because now you're a little bit stronger. Like, oh crap, the arm popped off. Oh crap, this is before ball joints. It's not going to pop back on. Oh no,
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just kind of curious because I rifle through stuff at times, and I'll get stuff, and I forget that I have it at times. Like my Masters of the Universe Classics, I have the sub for that, so I get white mailer boxes every month. I have probably 30 mailers that I haven't even opened because of I'm not into the classic stuff as much as I used to be. And so I have a lot of stuff to open up, and plus I don't have the room, and I've taken the room to do other things with, and it's just I got a whole bunch of classics figures that are just sitting there in a pile. And my kids use them as building blocks at times, but it is what it is. But okay, I was just curious.
A quick comment. It was by Punk Wiley, and he said that there will never be a year of the wheelie. And you know what? I hope so, because when that happens, if that ever does, I quit being a Transformer fan. I'm done. I'm moving on to everything else.
What's wrong with Wheelie?
This fandom make you do some crazy things.
Now, how many companies will it take for it to be a year of the wheelie to make a wheelie in that year?
What make it a year of?
Yeah, how many
The
companies will it take to
like
come-
5?
Yeah.
We've already got one that's making Masterpiece Wheelie, X Transbots, right?
Yeah.
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 So there's one.
I will say this: IDW has kind of made me appreciate the character a little bit more.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
one-shot
Oh, yeah.
comic, yeah, for sure.
Go watch Headmasters. That
Yeah,
appreciation.
then go
But
back
yeah.
and watch
No,
it.
no, no. I
It's
tried
not
to
enough
watch that.
to
I tried to, and I
counter
couldn't. I was
the
like, no.
G1 stuff. You're scarred when
No.
you watch the G1 stuff. I mean, yeah, IDW's brought the character back, but after watching Headmasters, watching the '86 movie, watching season 3 with Daniel, even I cheered when I read the 2001 BotCon comic when he died with Daniel. I kind of I was like, I was rooting. I was hoping that next panel we're gonna see him. Yes, he's
So
dead.
wait, Daniel
Just
gets
mangled.
killed too?
Oh, dude, you didn't know that? Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler
That's
alert.
why RC got all emo and turned into a spider.
Oh yeah, I remember reading that about her, where she had a nervous breakdown and went all black, pink arachnia.
I mean, freaking nervous breakdown don't cover it. She
No.
She lost
it was
it.
bad.
Mhm.
Really bad. But yeah, that was the time when Wheelie got hurt and Daniel got left behind, and they had a little Kodak moment for a second. And then Daniel just popped a grenade, and they're one with the Allspark or whatever you want.
Daniel, isn't it?
Daniel's been going bye bye. So
God, I just
Yeah.
hate Willie.
So was he
My
an adult
most
or was
hated
he a
character.
kid?
he was adult.
Okay.
It was kind of like it was, I don't know, a lot manlier than Spike. I'll tell you that.
Really?
Who are they fighting anyway in that
Yeah.
comic?
The
Dude.
Nightbirds.
Yeah.
Turns
The
out-
what?
The Nightbirds were the ones that they were fighting. Just a swarm of Nightbirds were
You
attacked.
know, that's what I wish they would bring out a figure of. Nightbird, I wish they would kind of like bring her into the...
We have a
Bring it
terrible
into-
Nightbird already.
Yeah.
Oh, I sold that one, the Impossible Toys. But, I mean, who's to say they won't? Now they've got that RC mold.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Just give
you
her-
just do it that way. You switch out the head and do the colors and do the weapons different. You're good to go.
How many other female characters are there that we could see? Just like a handful, right?
Oh, you got Solus
Yeah.
Prime. You have
Alita 1.
Little One. Yeah.
Moon Racer,
Firestar.
Moon
Firestar.
Racer. Yeah. Firestorm. Nightbird. We just
Nightbird.
said so.
Slipstream.
Ninjika or who's that
Yeah.
one from Perceptor?
Oh, Najika.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
You
one.
know, when I first saw Windblade, I actually thought that's who that was.
That's who I thought it was too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be on a ball joint, right? I'm gonna pop that head off and like put it in front of G1 Perceptor. See what it looks like. I'm probably not even gonna say what it is. I'm just gonna take the picture, and who knows where this, what this is about, and just see how much people. The thing is like people usually don't comment on stuff. They just always like on Instagram. They heart it. Is that what you call it? I don't even know. I'm so new to the thing. I don't even know what you call it. I know that there's a heart, and
like a
people
like?
that.
So
Yeah,
like,
I guess it's like a light.
Okay.
So it's like I heart. They heart a lot of my photos or something
Mhm.
like that. And the thing is I'm like, I put so much. All my little captions, they're so clever, and like only get appreciated by a couple, but they get a bunch of hearts. It's weird seeing that. I feel like I should say likes, but yeah, whatever.
Oh. At least they're getting appreciated. Somehow.
Yeah. I'm not like posting pictures of my food and
Look what I just ate today. Grubbin. Yay.
I'll show you another picture in 8 hours.
There you go.
Hmm.
Here's the room I will be using in 8 hours. Thank you. Heart that.
God, that would be the worst Instagram account ever. Before and afters.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. There it is.
Depending
guys.
on how your stomach feels, you know what not to eat.
Oh
All right,
gosh.
it's got disgusting. So let's.
Yeah.
But going back to the female, Transformers.
Yes.
We already know that Mastermind Creations is also doing Strika.
Oh yeah.
So, and I can also see them doing Black Arachnia.
Nope. It's not happening, Dalton. They're not doing Striker.
Really?
Yeah.
Not doing it, Dalton.
They're doing Arachnid instead.
God.
They said they're doing female Unicron instead of that.
Female unicorn. Yes, and a female buck. It's gonna be nice.
Are you guys being serious?
We're always serious on the show, especially on the Aftercast.
It's too bad. I kind of was looking forward to that strike.
No. I was just messing with Dalton. So.
Oh, okay.
I saw through your eye.
So
If they ever decide to release a G1 Unicron, like the prototype one that never made it to stores, would any of you guys actually buy that thing?
I'll
As
probably
ugly as it is.
No.
Tell you what I would buy. The
buying
prototype Wars Neo Unicron.
Well,
Yeah,
no one was
that's
talking about that. Let us answer his question first. Dakota.
You know, it's funny though.
Yes.
silence.
Yes. We
The,
would. I would.
The Beast Wars
James?
Neo Unicron looks a lot like
Can we finish the
the
other
Cybertron
Unicron?
Primus. If
We'll
you look
finish
at
the
it.
other Unicron question. James,
No,
I'm
I
buying.
wouldn't buy it. It depends on the price, probably, but
yeah.
I've seen pictures of the prototype. No, it's not.
well, it's horrifying.
Yeah, it is
And
horrifying.
it would scare small children. That's probably why it didn't even get developed. But
Oh, no.
like I have that now. That it's such a rarity.
Mhm.
Oh, but you don't want
it would
everybody
be
else
so
to have
cool to
like
have.
a breakdown robot?
No, we're talking about like an encore. I'm talking about everyone to have it. I think it's cool. Like it was a rarity, and now you can have it. No, I'm not primal selfish.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, there we go. The gloves are off now.
Wait, what happened?
Yeah.
I couldn't. I like to be honest. I was reading.
Shot across the bow.
Do what?
Shots have been fired across the bow.
You better
I
get
don't know
some
what
nice
you say.
cold water
We
for
will
that.
not stop until we see the whites of their eyes.
I said no. I'm not primal selfish.
Oh, that's good. It's true.
It's true. He agrees with it. You got me there, but it's true though.
I mean, I was sorry. I just, I find super duper rare toys to be something of sacred ground, of blood and sand, and honor of the
I don't-
gladiator
I
arena.
think we should all be able to have them.
I agree with
If you're
Dakota.
willing to pay for it, then you can have it.
What was the reasoning for never releasing the Beast Wars Neo Unicron? What was it?
I want to say it had to do with like size and price. They couldn't fit it into a price point at the time, and the show was just starting to wrap up too. And I mean, just a multitude of things. Like Unicron never really physically appeared in the show, other than as Galvatron. I think that's what ultimately was the killing factor in that. But he looked good, and you could see a lot of those, like I said, a lot of those design cues showed up in the Cybertron Primus.
Yes.
Like if you look at it, I wouldn't mind picking up one of those on the cheap and just like either painting it up or having someone else paint it up like Unicron. Put a Unicron head on it.
Real quick question to James.
What's up?
Kind of non-related,
All right.
but do you want to get on tomorrow's Aftercast 70B with me a little early so I can send you a bunch of links? Because if I keep all the links on mine, then I'm afraid that it's going to freeze up or lag or my computer might explode like right up under my feet. So
Yeah.
That way I can share some, and then you can,
Yeah.
share stuff like
That
All right.
sounds fun.
All right. I'll just message you when. So, all right, continue. I just wanted to figure that out because I was like thinking of it the whole time. I was like, every time that it's one of those things, then man, I hate lagging, especially when it's a long show and you're like, a 3-hour show and you're like an hour and a half in, and then you start lagging, and it just makes the rest suck. So.
Yeah. All right.
Sure.
Shut your mouth, Charles.
Say the word.
We know what you're doing over there. Taking notes, creating your own show, aren't you? The Golden Cast. Only for us golden ticket members, huh?
That's right.
That's what I thought. Damn you.
Dakota's good, like planning his own like little podcast where it's just him, just so he can go first every time. All he wants, like it's only like a 2-minute show. I'm Prime Sabbath and I'm first. All right, thanks for showing up.
Thanks for showing up, and we'll see you next week.
I'll set up my various wreckers and like have little webcams on them, and I'll make little voices for them like this, and they'll get to talk back to me.
Jeez.
Your own little record council. All right, here we are for meeting number 1. On today's
I'll
agenda,
go
guys.
first, as honors suggest. I am Primal Sabbath. It's good to see all of you guys here. Glad you all made it. We are so happy you made it, Primal Sabbath. Thank you, Ape Link. I really appreciate that because that's how Ape Link talks.
Yeah. Now I kind of regret buying that 2008 Link. If that's the way-
Could you imagine if Ape Link's voice was "Hey guys, I'm Ape Link." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of something like rough and tough.
Is that him in your avatar?
No, that's Gary Chalk in my. Oh, my avatar.
That's Gary Oh man.
Which funny thing, Gary Chalk actually he did the script reading for Ape Link. I want to say at one of the old BotCons. He did Onyx Primal and Ape Link and some other stuff. But yeah, that's Ape Link in my avatar.
Okay.
No, that's the one time that maybe Gary Chalk's watching this or something. It's like, that bastard Dakota.
Yeah.
I don't like him anymore. I'm going to tell him to take down that picture.
Dude, like I would probably be on the 6 o'clock news, local 6 o'clock news tomorrow night. Then. No.
So your boy Ape Link, is he a descendant of the Primes too?
You mean like as in terms of fiction? No.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but he's been around for a while.
He's probably like the oldest Maximal. Well, he's the oldest known Maximal.
Really?
With the exception of Ironhide, Silverbolt, Prowl,
Okay.
and Fortress Maximus.
Yeah.
So he was around during like at the start of the old Autobot Decepticon war.
He was around, as far as we know, he was around at least 30 years after the war ended. So basically 30 years after, if you want to get technical, 30 years after like Victory in Zone.
Okay.
Which is around, if I'm not mistaken, the prose fiction from the club was starting to, they stated that a lot of Autobots were starting to rally behind Fortress Maximus and the great downsizing and all that. Although from the look of the comics, it doesn't appear that Ape Link went through that downsizing, as he was close in size with like Jinrai and the various other BotCon 2014 characters. Although when we're talking scale, I mean, we might as well like cut our freaking heads off, because that's about as much sense as it makes. But he was definitely one of the few first Maximals
Okay.
around.
And when you say downsize, it means where they downloaded their personalities to like smaller bodies.
Kind of. Basically, the Autobots that were still around,
Mhm.
they did that, and even some of the Decepticons too, like Ravage, Laserbeak, Buzzsaw, a handful others.
Okay.
Even I think Soundwave was another one that did that, because he was actually an experimented on deal. That's where the mutant Soundwave came from for Beast Wars. But Uh, yeah, I mean he was probably among the first, much like the Magnaboss guys, Ironhide, Prowl, and Silverbolt. However, that managed to happen. I think they explained it as some kind of time travel anomaly, but whatever.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
I can follow it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much the best way to go with that type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
It's
don't
got
ask too many detailed questions. And
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
brain
Notice I've
bleed,
stopped
nosebleed, all that type of stuff starts to
Yeah.
occur.
because there are a couple questions I would normally like to ask, but I'm not gonna do that
I've stroked out a few times thinking about it. Not gonna lie.
here.
yeah. When it comes to continuity, I mean, my God.
Turns a sober man into an alcoholic.
That's right.
But I mean, again, if you ignore a lot of the smaller details, it all comes together quite nicely.
Yeah.
A lot, like, especially with Ape Link. Like now, you got me started on Ape Link. Spoiler alert: at the end of the 2014 story,
Oh,
they were already.
what?
What's up?
Huh?
No, nothing. Go ahead. It's all right.
Have you not read it yet?
No,
I don't think
Yeah, I've
he
read
hasn't
it.
read it. Oh, okay.
I've read it.
Okay. Anyways, they're several years into the golden age of Cybertron.
Literally, y'all.
All right, man.
All right. See
All
ya.
right, take it easy.
Far, we're talking quite far after the Universe War, which still hasn't. I mean, it's kind of been wrapped up, sort of, but not quite. That's when that's where the end of the 2014 comic. That's where it ended up, and there was actually another one of Tornado's journal entries that that kind of explained him and Flame War in prison or whatever, and their means of escaping. But the story's still open for whatever that's worth when you explore all the different fiction. But the way it ends with the Hunter becoming Shockeract, it essentially, I mean, there's maybe 50 to 100 more years of story probably missing before it completely goes full circle back to reaching the Omega Point, because they all went through a transwarp portal and that far into the future.
Yeah, Shockrat has to take over Cybertron and
Yes.
slave everyone,
And then Predacons and Maximals are still able to, which after the Universe War they all came together anyways. So Ape Link, if you read any of his original war journals, it talks about him, combating Megatron's virus and getting thrust back in time due to what was able to keep him from combating that virus, and that's how Ape Link.
fiction.
What?
Was that part of '98's fiction? When he went back in time.
It's part of the war journals essentially, and it did sort of tie into the '98 script reading.
Okay.
But he didn't really want to mess with the time flow.
Yeah.
Until he ended up doing that. So Ape Link is definitely quite the fleshed out character, quite the old character. But there's still a lot that's kind of unknown about him, like his origins. Was he actually because whenever he him and Primal Prime merged to form Sentinel Maximus, his name was changed to Hyperlink, and that's what a lot of people assume his name was before he became Ape Link. Because I think he was a wrecker. I think he was like a scientist or something like that.
Yeah, he was a data, like a computer genius, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Something to that nature. He could do a ton of work like that, and such.
And that's how he came up with the hyperlink. Not the hyperlink. The
data.
The data hyperlink data interface thing or whatever, where he was able to download things from cyberspace, things from his memories, his ideas into physical objects.
That's how he created CAT-scan.
Yeah, just straight up created a living organism thing. That was insane. Yeah, Ape Link. I mean, definitely in my top 3 favorites as far as character goes.
Okay.
Yeah. I clearly have some reading to do. Oh
I
my
can
god.
actually get you a lot of stuff.
That'd be great, man. Thanks.
Yeah. I have
That's cool.
the universe, the Wrecker story, the second part of it. The first part, I believe, is still over on AllSpark. Um, I think it's even typed up in that format too, to where you don't have to read like handwriting or anything. I'll get that copied and pasted over to you. And the second part of the story was Pro's story from the Collectors Club, but their website's been down for 2 years, so it's not quite there. But I do have that in a PDF format. So.
Sweet. Thanks.
Oh, no problem. And all the war journals, like I have the comic scans that were from the BotCon archives. I'll get all that over to you as well.
Sweet. Cool.
Here's a question for you, Dakota.
All right, shoot.
There's 5 Matrix Templars. Now, have they revealed all 5?
No.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, right now it's Snarl, Beast Machine Snarl, Rodimus, and Cheetor. So we're still missing 2 Templars.
Okay.
Which is crazy. And you know, Ape Link, the way he was able to basically fight off Megatron's virus and not be susceptible to it, you know, he thought it was his hyperlink interface. It could very well be that he was just a Matrix Templar and didn't know it. You know what I mean?
He used Rodimus's, didn't he, for an antidote? Because he was a Templar. Didn't he use something of Rodimus?
Yeah, because Rodimus was he wasn't susceptible to it.
Yeah.
So Ape Link could very well be one of the missing 2, but that still leaves one more that we're not quite sure of. Yeah. That's something I wish they would kind of delve into, the Matrix Templars.
So wait, Rodimus is still around doing the Beast Wars there?
No, Rodimus is dead.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kick the bucket.
Yeah. They actually Primal Prime named his spaceship the Rodimus Major in honor of their fallen comrade.
Okay, here's the doozy of the question. Do you have any idea how far in the future does it take place? Does Beast Wars itself take place so far in the future that most of the Autobots and the Decepticons have long since deactivated?
Yeah. I want to say Beast Wars was... Beast Wars, if you go back and watch Beast Wars 2nd, the planet that they're on, Planet Gaia, is post-apocalyptic Earth. So, really? For whatever that's worth. Yeah, I want to say it was like anywhere from 300 to 500 years into the future.
Yeah, because the Destrons or Predacons or whatever are basically scanning what was left over from Earth vehicles and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
While the Maximals Cybertrons were scanning beasts and whatnot, right? So.
Yep. Yeah, so I mean, human race was like they weren't.
Either they kicked the bucket or they took off somewhere.
Yeah, something. Because I mean, there were humans still around, like Daniel at the time. Well, no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't, because that story took place several years. That was back when Springer was still a wrecker. Whenever that story took place, the beginning of the BotCon 01 story. Okay, so never mind on that. Yeah, as far as we know, all the humans are either dead or on a different planet. Or something, they may be mixed in with some Nebulans, or they may have like crossbred or something.
Who's that character with Moon?
That's Artemis.
Yeah.
Artemis? Okay, I was just kind of
Artemis and Moon, yeah.
Okay, because doesn't
or something. I don't know.
Doesn't the episodes with like Star Saber and Diatlas, aren't they like on other planets beside Earth?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Diatlas, him and Sonic Bomber and
Roadfire.
Yeah, Roadfire. They've helped. I think they built like Planet Zone, right? That was the thing behind it, right? They're kind of pioneers of the Cybertrons and whatever. So, yeah. And just a side note, my group is going to be releasing or re-releasing the Zone episode fan sub. So
cool.
Just as a side, since we're on the topic. Okay. So, yeah, maybe about a week or so before it comes out.
Cool.
Yeah, if you check out the blog page, I got some screenshots on there. So, so those 3 they basically they helped build Planet Zone, and that was just so that other Transformers could kind of live there in peace and whatnot. But depending on which universe you're diving into, right? I mean, whether it's the American continuity or the Japanese one, like things are a bit different. So I don't know. I think it's a bit of a mishmash now with IDW, right? Since they threw
Yeah.
Diatmos in there as well, right? So.
Okay. I'm gonna try to make this my last question. How am I going? Okay. So the whole Beast Wars Neo thing that takes place like, does it take place like 300 years into the future or something?
Beast Wars Second and Beast Wars Neo both take place essentially around the same time,
Hmm.
because there was a little bit of time travel with Beast Wars Second, with Lyle Convoy running
Mhm.
into Big before he was Big Convoy. He was Big, and I think he like helped saved his life or something like that. Um, but it's all, the only reason Beast Wars takes place in prehistoric Earth is because they went through
They
the
went through a
transport portal.
time portal, yeah.
Yeah,
Cause
up until that point, everything was still 300 to 500 years after. Like whenever they went back through the transport portal back into
hmm
um back to Cybertron, back to their own time. That's whenever they kind of return to that whole 3 to 500 year future deal.
Okay, so I take it in the Japanese series that Transformers don't live to get millions of years old because if they do, shouldn't like some of the present day Transformers we know still be kind of kicking it
Well,
around in
the present day Transformers, their bodies used up way too much energy, and Energon was starting
Oh,
to become super duper scarce throughout the galaxy.
wow.
So most of the Beast Wars characters, the Maximals and Predacons, were all very shrunken down. For the most part, the rest were pretty much put into stasis. I want to say Rodimus was one of the few that wasn't downsized.
Hmm.
RC, she decided to go with the downsized deal. Springer wasn't around, stuff like that.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. So they either went into stasis lock or went offline or something.
Yeah,
Well,
whatever the story writers feel makes
makes
sense.
the
Yeah,
most sense, yeah.
that's right.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I'd hate to write fiction for this because you'd have to know everything or trying
Everything,
I
to
would
like.
love
yeah.
to write more Beast Wars fiction because there's not much I'm out of the loop on.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So I'd think I'd fare pretty well.
Now, I remember reading somewhere that Robots in Disguise is supposed to take place after the whole Beast Wars thing because, quote unquote, the fire truck Optimus Prime fire convoy, he's not the genuine Orion Pax or whatever.
Yeah,
That's
That's
how Takara justified it.
so
Takara,
what?
for Takara, everything is G1. Armada, Energon, Cybertron, Car Robots, Beast Wars, G1. I'm sure Prime they consider G1. Well, actually, no. That Prime is the only time when Optimus isn't named Convoy. So who
well,
knows?
yeah. Well, Car Robots originally was supposed to be just in a universe of its own, right? I mean,
Oh, okay,
it,
separate,
it was
yeah.
like it was basically they did the Beast Wars second Neo, and then
Hmm.
they did Car Robots after that, and there's a couple of themes you'll see in the like in Car Robots they say that Black Convoy and the Combatrons were supposed to secure the was it Brave Maximus who was supposed to safeguard the Gaia energy, which kind of falls back onto the whole planet Gaia like in the Beast Wars series, right? So, like originally, Takara released it like was it Car Robots is just this is a standalone show, but then they retconned it and used I think it was was it the battle at Stargate or something like that? That was there was like four comics or something like that, and basically they removed the G1 characters off of Earth, and for some reason it caused some time flux thing, and then Fire Convoy and the others appeared in that timeline. God, I don't know. It doesn't. It didn't really make too much
You know,
sense.
I was watching
Yeah.
Radio Free Cybertron and what's his name? The guy that's a big RC fan. When he said something like that, like because of what Megatron, Beast Wars Megatron did, even though they brought Optimus back, it kind of changed. It altered the timeline in such a way that car robots is actually quote unquote G1. And they was like, no,
Don't
Yeah.
forget what Shockerak did by altering the time flow as well.
yeah,
You know, and
Yeah.
even Ape Link. You know, there's 3 alterations in the time flow, so anything's possible, really.
yeah.
Yeah, it kind of gets a bit ridiculous, right, when they start playing around with the timelines
Yep.
and stuff, right? Because it's like, okay, like, at what point, does this become canon and what is not canon anymore,
Canon, yeah.
right? Like, I love Transformers to death, but like, it's like, come on, guys,
Give us a
let's
one.
stick,
Yeah.
stick to one storyline or like, one timeline. Quit screwing around. Like, I don't care if they go back to the past and maybe, it's kind of on parallel, and then it's like, well, nothing really changes, or whatnot. But it's like when you start changing things around like this, it's like, okay, this is getting a little too
Get confused.
Yeah,
Can you say pre-crises DC Comics?
yeah, pretty much, yeah. Like even apparently, like, I think was it in the Japanese timeline, like at the end of was it Galaxy Force slash Transformers Cybertron, like actually, yeah, there was apparent that within that kind of universe is a reincarnated version of Optimus Primal and Megatron from Beast Machines.
What?
Talking for the Jungle Planet.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and I'm like, I'm reading this and I'm like, really,
What?
guys? Really?
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
It got
And then
it got a little weird for them to justify making those toys.
Yeah, it's like, come on, like you're kind of going overboard here with the changes and stuff, the timeline, right? So.
Holy Star Trek movie universe.
Yeah, well, no,
Batman.
and you know what? That's exactly it, right? I mean, you can imagine like how hard it must be for Star Trek, like writers, they have to like dig through. It's like years and years of fiction and try not to, create like conflicts with the story, but it's so hard, right?
Yeah, that's why Disney, when they got Star Wars, they just say, you know what, the hell with that
That's
executive.
right. They're like, yeah, that's right. The 6 movies are canon. The rest of it gone.
Oh, gone. Yeah,
So.
we might check cherry pick what we want out of there, but as far as strictly following it, no.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's too hard, especially like expanded universe and whatnot.
Oh man.
Like I said, stroking out.
Yeah, it's nuts. So I don't know. Ugh.
Did anybody ever get that Covenant of Promise book?
I have it in my Amazon wish list.
Mhm.
Okay. I can't say anything about some of the other designs, but I actually did kind of like that Megatron look up in there. Have any of you all seen it?
Was that the Megatronus one, or like I don't have the book, but I've seen some pictures from the book.
Yeah, it's you might be able to find it on Google. I think a couple people posted an image of it. It's where you can actually see it's where like the tank treads are in his legs, but yeah, it's Gladiator Megatron.
Mm-hmm.
He looked kind of cool. I wasn't too crazy about that Optimus design though.
Is he supposed to be? He's supposed to be the 13th Prime, right? Like Optimus or whatever.
Yes.
In that Covenant.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently so. Yeah.
He was called 13, and he forced himself into the well of the Allsparks to help Cybertron become prosperous. And anyways, he said he was going to bring himself back at some point. He told Alpha Trion that, and he said, you'll know when it's me. And then, sure enough, Orion Pax was born of the well of the Allsparks, and
When
Alpha
did this
Trion was
happen?
like, that's it. It's in the Covenant of Primus.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of when I started reading like just like brief descriptions about the Covenant of Primus, I was kind of I don't know. I wasn't so happy because I thought it was going to be like how like the Beast Wars had the Covenant of Primus, right? I was hoping it was going to be something like that,
Yeah.
along the proper G1 fiction, not really
Yeah.
the Transformer Prime fiction. So
It would have been awesome. I'm surprised, someone hasn't picked up on that. But I mean, it was to get an actual Covenant of Primus would be super tight.
for sure.
Yeah. Okay, because I always thought that Covenant of Promise book was supposed to be that quote unquote aligned continuity. We'll see how
Yeah,
long that
it
lasts.
is. Yeah.
It didn't last too long, did it?
That's the
Yeah.
thing. After Aaron Archer left, it's like Hasbro could have cared less about what all
Yeah.
they and he kind of built into that, and that sucks because
Mhm.
Archer's a freaking genius for the franchise.
Mhm.
But there's that.
Yeah.
He sounds like he was a fan of the community, And for him to leave, like I got a bad feeling.
I actually found a video of his TFCon panel.
Yeah.
He's starting a Kickstarter project apparently soon, or has it started already, or whatever. And he's still doing freelance work. He's doing freelance work for other companies. I think he said he was still doing freelance work for Hasbro. But as far as being, at the tippity top of the chain of command, he's obviously not up there anymore, which sucks because I mean, his ideas were the driving force behind a lot of just really awesome things over the year. Now we have guys that worked on, G.I. Joe and, other odds and ends kind of lines. Like now they're working on, Transformers, which is this, the most probably sophisticated toys on the market.
Yeah.
That's why it's hard for me to get behind much Transformer stuff anymore.
Well, I mean, for me,
Oh
like,
my God! August 5th. Oh, dude, I'm sorry, guys. Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods. One of the guys from Funimation told me about it. At Akon, he said it was coming to theaters. So now I got to drive to Dallas on August 5th because I don't think it's gonna come here locally. Okay, I'm sorry. Back to Transformers. It's English dub. It's English dub too. Funimation English dubbed it, and it's probably gonna end up like Evangelion 3.33, and they're gonna wait like a year and a half to release it on DVD. So I gotta go see it like 12 times.
Well, have you watched the Battle of Gods in Japanese yet? Or?
I sure have.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was thinking, man, if you haven't watched it yet, I mean, it's been out.
No, it's just here's the deal with that. Again, it's like sorry to get off of Transformers real quick, but if that movie flops, if it doesn't do as well as Funimation or Toei wants it to, then Toei is dropping their partnership with Funimation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't see it not being successful. I mean, there's a lot of Dragon Ball Z fans out there, right? I mean, Toei's already announced that they've got another Dragon Ball Z movie coming out next year, right? And again, it's going to be canon, and Akira Toriyama's writing it again. And
Canon.
It's just not as big as they want it to be here in the western part of the world.
And that's Funimation's doing.
Because Funimation isn't. Since Funimation is basically like an extremely well-off partnered company with Toei, like Funimation's CEO is the nephew of Toei Animation CEO, so they're not really paying premium for that shared partnership, to dub things and release things and so on. So if Battle of Gods doesn't do well for the as well in the American dub and all that other stuff, like that's it. They're just going to drop Funimation, and Funimation is buying up everything. Like they're getting stuff. They want to get everything before Crunchyroll does, and so far they're being successful at it. Like look for Escaflowne on DVD this fall, stuff like that. He just like started filling me in on a bunch of stuff. Doesn't help we were both drinking, so.
Because I know that the Boo saga of Dragon Ball Z Kai or whatever, like I mean that the reason that got made was because Dragon Ball Z Kai was quite popular over here, and they were able to make enough money off of it to justify dubbing it in Japan and continuing it, because otherwise it never would have seen the light of day, because the merchandise just wasn't selling in Japan, right? I mean.
But Kai's not even on TV anymore. It used to be on
Well,
TV.
actually, it's coming back to TV. It's going to be airing on Toonami, believe, starting sometime in the fall. And they're going to be picking up. They're going to be doing all of the original Nickelodeon run of Kai, uncut, of course. But they also are dubbing the Boo Saga because the DBZ Kai got released. The Boo Saga version of it got released, I think, in Japan already.
Yeah.
And Funimation has already dubbed that, and they're going to get that onto Toonami as well.
Kai said it was on Saturday mornings on CW, but they stuck re-airing the Cell games.
Yeah, like that's where it finished in Japan as well, and then.
Dude, this sucks. I'm sorry, guys. My theaters are playing it, but it's only at like 7 p.m. So that means on Tuesday, August the 5th, we are not going to be having a topic show.
No records. Cool.
Okay.
Yep. It's like 7 p.m. everywhere.
Yeah.
Let me see if they're playing it on the 6th. If they're playing on the 6th, I guess we can, Okay. We may have a show. I'll keep you guys posted.
Should we go back to Transformers then?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what the show's all about, right?
The Aftercast is just, talking about Transformers, talking about pretty much whatever, as long as it's interesting and, collectible type of stuff. I mean, we've started talking about sports and other, that type of crap, then, we're really off topic. But, I mean, try and direct it towards Transformers. I mean, it gets saturated enough that we run out of stuff to talk about at times.
That's true.
So, but and Dragon Ball Z, man, that was one of the first animes that got me into anime, big time.
Mine was Akira when that came out, like during the 80s. I think 80s or 90s or something like that. Man, it's been too long. Yeah, mid-90s, yeah.
No, if
Akira,
that's a good anime.
Yeah, and then Venus Wars was another one.
Yeah.
And then Ranma 1/2 as well. That's all those ones. Just
Good one to start.
what's that?
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Rurouni Kenshin is probably my favorite though out of all of them.
Yeah.
Star Blazers probably then got me into anime, but I was just a kid, so I didn't know anything about anime. I just knew that I wanted this space battleship, which couldn't buy anywhere in the United States unless I lived in an import town, like Seattle or LA or New York or something. But and then obviously we got inundated with Robotech in the 80s also.
Yeah.
Voltron and all that, but Robotech was really, really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember back when I think it was like earlier in the middle of the week, you guys were talking about Diaclone, and I was looking at some of the Diaclone figures on YouTube, and come to think of it, I remember my friend had like this. You could go to the dollar store or five and dime stores, and there would be like these weird looking robots. One of them I particularly remember, he had like a drill on his head. He turned it to a drill. This wasn't nose cone. This was before they brought that one out. And then I looked and saw a picture of some Diaclones, and I'm like, oh, so that's what that was.
Yeah.
It was like a Power Dasher.
Yeah, I think that's might have been what it was.
I remember our Woolco. They used to have like all these like basic. I don't know if it was Diaclone, but I'm pretty sure they were all like knockoff Transformers that they used to sell there, and they eventually Woolco went out of business and Walmart replaced it. So, but I just remember like seeing like a Soundwave there, but I'm like, hey, it's not the same box. It's like just like it says like I don't know cassette bot or something like that on it, and there's no Decepticon symbol.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I wish I'd grabbed those. They're probably quite rare and probably worth
Yeah.
killing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. There's one knockoff out there that I would love to get. It is the Overlord
Mhm.
knockoff, but with a Star Saber head, I
Oh,
believe.
really?
Wow.
What the heck?
And,
Why did they do that?
yeah, I don't know why, but it's the exact mold of Overlord, but just with a Star Saber head and stuff. And it's like, wow, that'd be kind of cool.
That's pretty intense.
I wonder if maybe the only the molds that they had, it just didn't have the head or whatever, and they're like, oh, what do we put on here?
Yeah,
We'll just put on the somebody else's head, right?
yeah.
Speaking of which, is anybody? I wanted to kind of ask. I probably should have tweeted this question to you, Jamie Dakota. Is there any particular reason why, when Hasbro ported over some of the Diaclones in the Transformers line, why there was such a big reason for why some of them had like a really vast color change, like for example, Powered Convoy Ultra Magnus, and
Just
then some
probably just
issue.
to fit animation models, I'm sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Probably they were playing around with a bunch of different color schemes and whatnot, and they were just like, hey guys, what do you think looks better? Like a lot of the original Diaclone stuff. Like if you take a look at some of those Diaclone commercials that are maybe floating around on YouTube, like you'll see
Yeah.
like the Sun Streaker and sideswipe molds and whatnot. Like they're all different colors.
Colors,
And whatnot.
yeah.
So it's just I mean here they probably were like, yeah, well, rent's a flashier color than whatever the other one was and whatnot. So yeah,
And fit the animated, scheme better than
Yeah.
having it as a dark blue. They probably wanted it to be more, like because Optimus is the John Wayne type, U.S. Hasbro. I'm surprised it wasn't red, white, and blue. Like Star
Close
Saber.
enough to it.
But yeah. But Hasbro did a great job by taking that stuff from Takara and saying we can do something with it because you
Yeah.
guys importing it, us importing it into the United States as Dichron, still sucks. And
Yeah.
we're gonna change it up, put something else on there,
Give them a purpose.
and put some fiction. Like I think that started all of it. Like you need something behind it instead of just here's a toy now that kind of transforms and you can put your imagination behind. No, we need like a starting point, and here you go with it. And then they're like a year later, like, we really like what Hasbro did. Screw the new Diaclone line. Let's do Transformers now,
Yeah.
and we'll do this and that.
Yeah, because it was crazy to see an old Diaclone commercial of a train coming over a bridge, and the bridge is out, and guess who happens to put the bridge back up so that the train doesn't crash instead of knocking the bridge over? Devastator. I was like, wait, did he just save that train?
The Constructicons.
That's right.
That was before the mix-up at Crystal City.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I think they were called Build Robo or something like that for Diaclone. Yeah, something along those lines. Yeah.
Back when they had great names. Takara really sucked with their names.
Yeah, Gun Robo was Megatron, and
Yeah.
Their whole micro change. Yeah, their whole micro change series.
yeah.
For their 1-on-1 scale and stuff. I still wish that they could have brought over the 44 Magnum instead of it's like Megatron's big brother, or some weird thing. Like the whole Mega Storm and Galvatron type of story in Beast Wars second.
Yeah.
Browning?
Now there's three machine robo guns.
Guns? Really? Wait, so there was somebody out there bigger than Megatron?
44 Magnum, yeah.
You just give him the voice of Clint Eastwood.
Dirty Harry, essentially. There was one, which would have been really cool. That should have been Shockwave, but oh well.
Shockwave had an Earth form there.
Yeah, would have been nice. It would have fit the character. Go ahead, make my day. Just bam, just blow the hell out of all the audience.
Yeah. But the Shockwave toy was based off of a different company, right?
Galactic Man or
Galactic
whatever.
Man's, yeah.
Yeah,
Astro
something like
Magnum.
Mhm.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, we all know where Jetfire came from.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but Hasbro did it right by, saying, let's, can we import that? We want, the deluxe size Insecticons. We want, can you
Yeah.
give us Jetfire? Can you give us Whirl? Can you give us Roadbuster?
Hmm.
Sure, long as you don't put it into any fiction.
They put freaking Jetfire into fiction and
Yeah,
just
but they
killed
had to tweak it
Yeah, Twiggy call him Skyfire, yeah.
and then change it up and everything. But it was a
It
better
worked.
time. See,
Mhm.
why can't the third parties kind of get along like that? Just
Exactly.
Yeah, but look at where Hasbro and Bandai are now, or Harmony Gold and
Harmony
Hasbro rather.
Gold. Yeah.
Harmony Gold, man. Don't even start on those guys. I hate those guys, man. They should just. I wish somebody would just, rip the license out of their hands and,
They need money so bad, like it's so sad.
like. And aren't they
Maybe would
making?
put something out.
Yeah. Well, they are though, eh? Apparently, they're going to start another Robotech sequel or whatever after the last one that they did. I really hate that because they're the reason that all the Macross other series have not been brought out over here, like Macross Frontier and Macross Zero and whatnot. Like they're the ones that are holding everything up in their license because they're like,
Really?
oh, yeah, they're like, oh, we'll sue everybody, and it's like, I don't know what kind of contract that they got out of
Yeah.
I should
Yeah.
talk to my brother-in-law because he works for Bandai, and I should just say to him, you know what? Do something about that Harmony Gold contract.
Yeah. Okay.
Just hold it from other video
So
chat.
wait, let me see if I get this straight. If Bandai were to release Macross Frontier on DVD or something over here,
Yeah, they
Harmony
can't.
Gold could sue them?
Yeah, because of some of the licensing and whatnot. So it's just a mess. You don't even want to try and decipher through half of the legal jargon and mumbo jumbo that they would have to go through. I mean, that's one thing aside, and then the music is another thing as well, right?
Yeah.
Jeez,
It is
dude.
odd.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like
we got Macross Plus, but that wasn't done by Bandai. It was done by Manga. But that was back,
yeah.
back in the day.
I still
Yeah.
can't believe Harmony Gold really needs that much money.
I don't know why they're beating a dead horse with Robotech. Just like
Yeah, I
Macross,
agree.
let it, let it go. Just
Yeah.
what are you waiting for? That's the thing.
I
like,
think Tobey Maguire, the guy that played Spider-Man, for the
Yeah.
first 3 terrible Spider-Man movies,
Yeah.
he actually was going to make either a Robotech or a Macross movie because he bought into, I can't remember what the specifics are, but I remember he had plans for it because he either bought like a significant chunk of the brand
Huh.
or he got all of it, and I can't remember what exactly it is. That could
I
have
remember
something to do
hearing
with
it.
God, that would suck.
it. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I would probably take my Valkyries and everything else, Macross out in the backyard, just
Put a bullet
shoot
between
it,
their
blow
eyes.
it up. Send that video to Tobey Maguire saying, "Thank you for just taking away something that I held precious." Yeah. It's like when that Dragon Ball Z movie, live action movie came out. I was like,
Oh, that movie was amazing. I mean, come on,
It's funny because Funimation had no control over that.
yeah, well, I
Funimation
mean,
had zero say-so into that.
Yeah.
well, yeah, and it was like horror. I was like, gosh, what the hell? It's like M. Night Shyamalan doing The Last Airbender for Avatar, too.
Please
It's like,
don't remind
what
us.
the hell?
Yeah.
Why the
I
hell do
watched
people have free time on their hand that can
Well-
do this type of stuff? Just donate the
Well,
money. Don't even
Well,
think about it.
that Piccolo was all with skin color and whatnot, right? Like he wasn't green face or whatever. And then one of my buddies, a friend of his, she works at an animation company in Toronto, and she said they had to go through frame by frame to change the color of Piccolo to green because they were worried about the backlash of the fans. It was that bad. They were like, this is horrible, you know. And she said, and so he's like, so how's the movie? And she's like, well, from what I've seen of it, it was junk. And I didn't even bother going to the theater at that point after I'd heard that. I was just like, forget it.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like fan made, but really bad with no budget.
Yeah, it was
Had a budget.
horrible. It was just.
It just really just pissed on Dragon Ball Z fans.
Well, yeah, and I mean,
Worse than Michael Bay doing with Transformers.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can
yeah,
stomach
for
a
sure.
Michael Bay film. I can deal with Turtles. I can deal with the Michael Bay Turtles thing, but
Yeah.
the Dragon Ball Z and all that, it's like, what the
Yeah,
hell?
like Akira Toriyama walked out of that theater, and I remember reading quotes from him. He goes, "I don't know what I just watched, but that was not my Dragon Ball Z." So, and that's pretty sad when you're the original author is ripping you apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take a Michael Bay film any day over that Dragon Ball Z garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other topics, or should we kind of end it? Because we've been going on for about 2 hours. Wow. Maybe we'll just end it here.
Yeah.
So thank you for all the live viewers. Really do appreciate it again. And thanks for enduring the extra half hour. We try to keep the show to about an hour and a half, but we went a little long. But if you guys want to out yourselves, starting with Dakota.
Yes. I'm Dakota. You can find me everywhere at Primal Sabbath. I do a Transformers topic show. I say every other Tuesday, but you know we may be we may either be skipping it or starting it a few hours late. We'll figure it out. Anyways, it's normally every other Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Could be 9 p.m. on August 5th. We don't know yet. Yeah. So you just figure it out there. It's records based. So go to cybercastnetwork.com and click on my little Primal Sabbath tag thingy, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
All right.
So when is it?
It may or may not be August 5th.
Just keep your calendar clear
What?
from August 5th until Labor Day. It appears sometime in that time frame. In the general time of maybe 6 to 9.
Maybe between August 5th and Independence Day.
There you go.
We'll figure it out.
So, wait, let's see. Where am I going here?
I'm so perfect. I get to outro twice.
Yes, Dakota, go again. We need to do this again. Charles.
I'm Charles. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Optimus4Prez, and Xbox Live is AutoCon365.
Dalton.
I'm Dalton. You can find me on YouTube at Daltonians TFs or Daltonians TF Reviews. Same with Twitter, Daltonians TFs, Daltonians TFs 95. Either way, should be the same.
Well, got a lot of stuff there now. Jay.
You can find me on Twitter at NemesisJazz13.
Hey, Kari.
All right, good talk, Kari.
Kari, are you there? You. No.
I guess not.
All right, he left us. Torrance.
Find me at Trent5 at Hotmail. No, Trent5 at Facebook and at Twitter. Sorry, brain fart.
All right. And I'm Jane Victory Saber 77. You can find me Twitter and YouTube. Check out our website, cybercastnetwork.com. Like our Facebook page, Cybercast Network. Also, where you can get all your Transformers news. Follow us on Twitter, CybercastNet. We do have a community channel on YouTube, Cybercast Network. Josh was on here. You can find him at G1 Hexatron, and then on Facebook, the G1 Hexatron. Kari, last call. Last call. Hello.
You can find him at Karyudo, Karyuudo, fansubs.blogspot.com, and Facebook page, Karyudo Fansubs.
Right on. Cool. Thank you, Dakota. Save the day.
Way to go, nice guy Dakota. Or good guy Dakota.
All right. Well, thanks again, guys, and we'll see you next week.